Hello everyone, Poster from the future is here, and in today's video I'm going to be doing something slightly different, but I think this is probably going to be the most important video I've ever done. And that is, don't forget to like and subscribe. Nah, I'm joking. It's actually about how to stay at the top. Rule number 1, injury prevention. Now, how do you stop injury prevention, Poster? Well, there's a few things. Number 1, I got this. Now, this is called Brace Up, but what I do is I sleep with this on every night. Like this, and for some reason ever since I started wearing this I started to get a lot less kind of problems with my wrists when I was playing. So this is number 1. I do recommend, if you have the budget, grab this. I've also got a power ball. Now this is actually used for arthritis and like people with arthritis, but also I think it just strengthens the muscles around the wrist, and all you have to do is kind of like twist it like this and it kind of like gets those muscles working and whatnot. And I do this normally for about 2 minutes on both wrists. So I recommend that. I recommend going too wild with it. Just making sure that you're feeling something here and you're like, oh, this is really working me out. And the next thing I've got are vitamins. So I've got vitamin D here. You get this from the sun, but since you're playing video games, you're not really out in the sun very often. This kind of makes you happy. So like I'm not toxic in ranked. Magnesium citrate. Now I'm not entirely sure what this does. Yinsu got it for me, but I'm pretty sure it's meant to like strengthen my bones. I don't know. Fish oil. Everyone has fish oil. So I was like, why not get some fish oil? Actually, Yinsu also got this for me. But I've been having it every day. I got no problems with it, but I do think it could help. And the next thing is this. Now, I use this pretty much 6 days a week, every morning, and I have it in my pancakes. I used to have a bowl of cereal every day, so that was like too crazy on the sugars. This is low in sugar. And it's got all the other bits and bobs. So I think it's super healthy for you. I'll make another video of how to make the pancakes for anyone interested. This isn't like a must-have. It's just something that I love. So maybe other people will love it too. So we've covered all those things. Now the most important thing I think is wrist exercises. So I'm going to show you some wrist exercises. Woo. Exercise number 1. What you do is you put your hand straight out. You bend your hand down. Grab your fingertips. And pull very gently. You'll feel like a kind of stretch on the kind of top half and around here. Feels lovely. Oh, absolutely lovely. This is my first exercise. I normally do this for 10 seconds. Then I do the other hand. Then what you do, same kind of thing, but you turn your hand outwards. So away from your chest. And then you kind of do the same thing. You pull again. And really get it, and that kind of stretches this part of your kind of like forearm, because I think a lot of your injuries are on the forearm and the wrist, so like being able to stretch out both is really good and make sure that you can actually stay a pro. There's so many pros that are like struggling right now. You got Dom from Liquid, he's struggling with wrist problems and they can't prac as much. So you want to make sure that if or when you make it as a pro, you want to actually be a pro for quite a few years, you know? Alright, so the next exercise, both hands out. And you just kind of do this. Now, I normally do this about 20 times. Okay, so for the next exercise, you'll need a wall or a surface. So I'm going to pretend to use my underseat. What you do is you put your hand against it and then push it like that. So you want to be really stretching this. And oh, it feels so lovely. Feels so nice. And then once you've done that for 10 seconds, you do the other side. So you feel a lot of stretching all along your whole arm. This is my favorite stretch because it just feels so nice. So for the last exercise, what you do, you don't have to stand up for it, but it's easier to show it. So both hands straight down, turn them inside out, and then cross one hand over the other, interlock the hands. So you'll see here. And then the hand that's on top, so in this case it's this one, you bend the wrist. So you can see here that I'm bending the wrist. And that stretches out all of this, and it's like a slightly different muscle. And you can like add a little twist to your body as well to really get the stretch. Then change over and go again. All right. So those are the wrist exercises I do, and I do them before I play every day. And you kind of just get into a habit of doing them, and before you know it, 1 minute's gone and you've done them all. And then if you feel like you need to stretch again during the day, go for a 5-minute walk, do some stretches and whatnot. You'll be back on the ranked, and you'll be grinding and winning, getting dubs. You'll be in pro play. You'll be like on stage versus both. You'll be like, oh my goodness, he showed me wrist exercises. I better beat him, and then you beat me, and you're like, wow, thanks for the wrist exercises. Luckily, because of you, I managed to stay as a pro long enough to face you. And luckily, because you did those wrist exercises, you stayed long enough to be a pro, because you didn't have any injuries. So that's it for this video. I need to play more ranked, so then I have more VODs to do Bosa from the future. I'm running out of content. Anyway, peace. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment if you want some of this lovely content.